الوكيل نعم المولى ونعم النصير أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين سيما بقية الله الأعظم روحي وأرواح العالمين له الفداء رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Allah has structured life in such a way that every aspect of life has a meaning and a purpose. Life as we see it and to understand it, once we understand it, then everything in life has a purpose, has a reason. If we don't understand life, then obviously we are just living in a delusion, in a dream. We don't know what we are doing. We don't know what the purpose is as to what we are doing. And that's why understanding life is necessary for us to make sure that our goals are correct, our dreams are right, our purpose is right, and the priorities in life are accurate. Life is divided into three dimensions. There is the length of life, there is the height of life, and there is the width of life. Understanding these three dimensions gives us the actual correct view of life. And if you look at your own life, you will see that you thought that you were going to live for 70, 80 years. And based on that calculation and based on that thinking, you created your priorities in life. Until this much time I will spend in education, this much time in job, this much time in whatever, family and growing up and whatever you can see. And that was all based on what? On the fact that you're going to live for 80 years. But now Allah says, no, you're not living for 80 years, you're going to live forever. So now that you know you're going to live forever, are your priorities going to be the same? See, if our priorities don't change, knowing that we are going to live forever, it means that we don't believe in that forever. We don't believe in forever. We can say, yes, al-maut haqqun, jannatul haqqun. These are all just words. If you actually believe in it, priorities in your life are going to change. That's why you see the imams and prophets, their goals and priorities in life are completely different than normal human beings. They were not too much concerned about the things of this dunya. It'll happen, don't worry. And so this is what happened. Now the height of life is what you will achieve in that forever life that you have. Where are you going to be? You can be as close to the highest level of Jannat or the worst level of Jahannam. That is your status in Akhirat, meaning that is forever. So that status is called the height of life. And that height is achieved in these 80 years we have here. See that? That forever status that we have is achieved here. So it's from this height of life that the life of this dunya finds meaning. There's excitement in this life, knowing that I only have this much time to achieve my height. I only have this much time to achieve my forever status. I only have this much time. Hence, every moment here is precious. Every moment is precious here. So, in between there is death. Death is just a door that we just open and go to the other side. We are still alive. I mean, it's like, for example, when you were in the womb of your mother, and you were a baby, and then you were given birth and you came into this world, how long did the birth take? That is death. That's death. There was a life there, very small, restricted, and then birth was given, that is death, and now you enter this, wow, what is this world, And that's all it is. It's nothing more than that. So what happens is that we, because less people with less ma'rifat misunderstood death and made death such a huge thing that life became small for us. We need to focus on our life. Death is just a part of it. And we go forward. There's a reason for death. Why did Allah give death for? Yeah, death is really useful. You know what death does to you? It helps you to bear the difficulty of this life. I have cancer. Lord, I'm going to die. The cancer will go away. I have poverty. I'm living poor. It's okay. When you die, the poverty will go away. Don't worry. Whatever difficulty you have in this life will be finished with death. So that gives us a peace of mind that I'm going to die. And this is all going to end. Really, look at the kids in Gaza right now. You look at them and you see the life that they're living, and you'll be like, oh my God, what a life are they living, this and that. My friends, the greatest peace of mind in this world is knowing that it's all going to end. That's the peace of mind. We have a peace of mind that there's death, and death is going to finish everything. So that is where death comes in. It helps us to deal with this life, the problems of this life. If we have problems, then we all have problems. Allah gave us problems. Problems are a part of life, so don't worry about problems. But right now, what we want to know is about this life. So we have the length of life and the height of life. And there's a width of life, which I will explain now. But before I get into that, why a lot of people say, okay, Allah says this in the Quran, that this life, وَمَا هَذِهِ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا لَهْوًا وَلَعِبٌ. The life of this world is just a game. It is a game. Don't take it seriously. It's just a game. And what Allah is saying is actually true. He structured it to be a game. And that's why a lot of people ask, well, why is Allah playing games with us? Why is Allah playing games with us? Well, listen, yes, it's true Allah is playing game. This is all a game here in this dunya. But you know what? This game is not that the one who is sitting across you, challenging you, because when you are in a fight, for example, you have an opponent, right? A game has an opponent, Who's the one across you? Who's sparring with you? Look at that. Yes, you're in a game, but the one who's sparring with you is Allah Himself. My friends, Allah is like that trainer in your life who's challenging you to become better. He is the one beating you up, but not to hurt you, so that you can become stronger and get up again. Allah is the one across you. You think Allah is going to let you fall down? He won't let you fall down. When you do fall down, He's the one picking you up. He says, get up now. Now it's time for you to do it again. This is Allah. Allah is the one doing that. So you should be thankful that Allah, you're the one. And if you're in charge, then nothing's going to happen to me. Nothing's going to happen to me. You're in charge of this. So this game is there. But let me make you understand what this game is. Right? The structure is a game. Don't make yourself misunderstand this. This life is a game. I'll give an example. Send the salawats. I mean, you all came here to America, and your kids are going to school, and maybe some of them, might be in the basketball team, and there was. So one guy, I don't know, from Pakistan, Afghanistan, he was in the basketball team, kid, in his school. So his grandpa comes from the village back home, right? Pakistan, Afghanistan, wherever you're from. The grandpa comes to visit to see his grandkids. And the grandson is excited, to tell his grandpa that I'm in the basketball team. He said, what is that? Sure, why don't you come and see, Then they go there, and so the grandpa sees, that all these kids are like, fighting and stealing one ball and trying to get the ball from the other team and all these things, And the grandpa gets a little bit confused and upset. So the grandpa then says, you know what, I'll be right back. So he goes to Toys R Us or Walmart, whatever it is, right? And he gets a bunch of balls. He gets 10 balls, and then he throws it in the court and says, listen, don't fight for one ball. Play. You all have your own ball to play with. And the grand's like, Grandpa, what are you doing? He says, everyone's fighting for the ball, stealing from one another. This is not a good thing. This is not good akhlaq. I want everyone to have their own ball. And you're like, okay. But it's a game. He said, what do you mean game? You see, the idea, the game becomes a game when there's only one ball and everyone has to run after it. My friends, the game, any game, the basis of the game, the structure of the game is limitation. The structure of the game is restriction. Don't you think that if Allah wanted, He could have given everyone enough wealth to live their own lives independently? Is there anything stopping Allah from doing that? Why is it that there's only one job and 1,000 people are applying for it? Why is it that there's only a limited amount of resources and everyone's running after it? Because Allah is saying that this life is a game. I made it into a structure of a game where everyone has to compete for the limited resources that it has. This is the game. This is what we are fighting for. Allah wanted this to be a game. Why? Because if everyone just has their own thing, it wouldn't be fun anymore. It wouldn't be enjoyable anymore. Everyone will be like, okay, what are you doing? Same thing I do every day. Taking a nap and eating food and sleeping more. That's a horrible life. No one wants to live a life like that. It's like, for example, in my young days, they came out with this game systems. We didn't have, the PS3 or 4 or 5, whatever you have, or, whatever. Nowadays, game systems are very technologically advanced. When I was growing up, they had like Magnavox. That's the first game system I had, Magnavox, or Atari came out after that, and that was a big thing. Atari was a big thing, So, like for example, and we only had like one game goes in the Magnavox, right? It was this car game, where you're driving a car. And you're just like driving the car, just going forward, nothing. There's nothing else, just all you're seeing is like scenery go by. Cactus, trees, and all these things just go by, and that's it. And then you're just like driving for about 1 hour, and you were excited by that. Now, really, if the kids would get to play that game, after 10 minutes of just driving and not doing anything, nothing to shoot, nothing to kill, no obstacles in the way, and you're just driving like that. After 5 minutes, they'll say, this is retarded, This is retarded. What kind of game is this? The game gets excitement from the fact that there are obstacles. The game gets excitement when there's something to beat, something to conquer, something to achieve. If everything is given, the game would be boring. That's why Allah created problems in this life for you. He created you in a family where you grow up with relatives that are nasty so that life can become exciting. Otherwise, it would be so boring that everyone will be out of their wit. Allah, where did you put us? This is what life is. Life is a game. It's really a game. And Allah made it so that it can be exciting in these 80 years. It can be exciting in these 80 years so that we can achieve the greatness of akhirat in this dunya. Subhanallah. My friends, this is where we need to solve the problems, find happiness. You know, the happiness over here in this dunya, it should be real happiness. It's not like, for example, you go to these success seminars, you know, and you pay like $300 for the seminar, you know, to learn about success and happiness in life. And the guy over there is teaching you, listen, you know what I do? You know, when I get a problem or I'm sad or I'm depressed, I smile. Here, like this. I said, what? This is a solution for the problems of life? Are you insulting my intelligence? Is this what you do? Well, the solutions must be real. The happiness must be real. So don't go into these things. We have to find a real solution. And real solution is knowing by understanding what life is. That height of life, the length of life, knowing you're going to live forever is giving that inner pleasure to you. Knowing that there's a height of life you have to achieve here is giving excitement to this life. Right here, that I have so much to achieve right now. That's what it's giving us. And now, my friends, just the width of life is left. Right? What is the width of life? You know, width of life, all it means is how much blessings of Allah can I use, take advantage of. You know, okay, you know what? For example, you know, there's a saying called, I'm so hungry I can eat a cow. Could you? No, you can't, right? So there is limitations of how much can you use Allah's blessings. Allah has given you blessings. All these blessings are there. And now how much of these blessings can you use? This is your width. Which is how much blessings can you use? And here, just you need to understand that is Allah okay with giving infinity to you? Infinite blessings. Is Allah okay? Will that make the blessings less in His treasury? So, right? My friends, Allah is infinite. I mean, I don't know if you know. If you can imagine, we can't imagine what infinite is. Infinite is, you know, like forever. You can't know it. But I just want to make you understand this, infinite. You know, what it is. Maybe we can understand it like this. You know, how much knowledge do you have? Okay, say a little bit, right? Fine. And obviously you have less knowledge than, let's say, your marja. According to Deen, you know, this and that. All right, good. Now, what is the comparison of your marja, let's say Ayatollah Sistani, to the knowledge of Imam Ali? Zero, right? Wow, Imam Ali is that high. He has so much knowledge. Babu Madinatul Ilm, right? He's that. Okay, very good. Excellent. Let's go for. So far you're with me. My friends, understand this. Imam Baqir alayhi salam, who is known as Baqir al-Ulum al-Nabi, he is the one who opened the knowledge of the Prophet and Ahlul Bayt to the world. Imam Baqir, who opened the knowledge of Ahlul Bayt to the world. He's that Imam. He says, and listen to me carefully, he says that every Thursday night, Shab-e-Jum'eh, every Thursday night, Allah gives us Ahlul Bayt a knowledge, a packet of knowledge comes to Ahlul Bayt Thursday nights. It comes to them that when we get this knowledge of Allah, it's as if we never knew Allah before this. That knowledge that Allah gives us opens a new door that our understanding opens as if we never knew Allah before this. And this is Ahlul Bayt you're talking about. This is the Imams you're talking about. We are like not even in the equation right now. My friends, Allah has infinite to give. But how much can you use it? How much can you use it? Good. If you are with me till now, just a few more things and that's it for today. We don't have that much time. And I'm explaining this. Now when we look at our limitations, there are two limitations that we have. Two limitations. There is limitations from takween and there's limitations from tashri'. Two limitations, restrictions that we have. For example, I want to eat, 5 steaks. But after 2, that's it. I go into a food coma. I can't eat more than that. This is a limitation, right? This is a restriction. This limitation is takween, meaning it is natural in us. Allah put that physically in us. And good. That's a limitation we have. The other limitation we have is tashri'. The other limitation is through Allah's shariat. Allah says, don't eat this. Stay away from this. This is haram. So now, I can eat it, I can drink it, but because of shariat, that's a limitation on me. Two limitations we have. Now, shariat is our choice. Takween is not our choice. I want to jump off a building. Can you? No, you can't. Right? So what happens is that when you say that I want to jump off a building, this limitation is physical. There's a physical limitation here. Tashri' is shari'at, Allah's laws. Allah's laws put a restriction on you. This is haram, this is wajib, this is mustahab, whatever. The shari'at that we have. All of these things that we have. So now, my friends, this limitation that we have, why did Allah put these limitations? For example, between, like, when a doctor says no, he's saying physically you can't do it. Don't eat salt if you have hypertension. Don't eat salt. Okay. Don't eat sugar if you are diabetic. These are what? Physical limitations. Right? There are physical limitations. Now, and when, like the Maulana says, don't eat this and don't eat that, these are Shariat limitations. Right? And nowadays, between the doctor and the Maulana, everything is haram. That's the case. If Maulanas made half the things haram, now doctors made the other half haram. So now what happens is that you have these two limitations, my friends. Understand it very carefully what I'm saying. I don't have that much time because we have to end. Right? And this is the width of life. Right? What happens here? Allah, when you know we have physical limitations, why did you put the Shariat in the way? What did He give us as wajib and haram for? He says, these physical limitations you have, they won't be there all the time. There's a way of opening them up. There's a way of unlimiting them, unrestricting them. I am giving you this Shariat, this wajib prayer, this fasting, this thing. Every time that you do your wajib, there is a physical limitation that is opening up for you. You are getting opened up. So that when you reach Akhirat, those who have opened up their limitation will be able to utilize the blessings I'm giving them. This Shariat, all of these things that we are doing in life, what is this for? What is prayer for? This prayer, this namaz-e-fajr, dhuhr, asr is opening up my restriction in Akhirat. So I can use Allah's blessings. This haram that I'm staying away from is opening up my restriction in Akhirat. This is where the Shariat comes into our life. Everything that we do has an effect on our everlasting life. Everything that we do here, that's it, my friends. That's all I want to say. We only have a few more minutes, and I just want to get to our every little knot that Shariat gives us, there's a reason for it. Even when we make wasiyat and make a will, it has a reason. That's it, my friends. Imam Ali alayhi salam, Amir al-Mu'mineen, he is lying in his deathbed. He's lying in his deathbed. People are coming to meet him. One certain group, strange, comes out, and these are little kids. Little kids come out, and they're like all in front of the house. They said, what happened? What happened to Ali? What happened to him? They asked, and then said the doctor says, that he has this poison. He's in pain. He said, how can he get rid of pain? He says, milk helps. Doctor said, if you give him milk, it will help the pain go away. These are little kids that Imam Ali, these are orphans, yatim, that Imam Ali used to spend his time with in Kufa. He used to go and spend time with them, sit with them, chat with them, tell them stories. And now when they don't see Imam Ali, they come and they say, what happened? They said, milk might help him. So all these kids go out, they spend whatever money they have, and everyone brings a bowl of milk and stands in front of the house. One of the companions of Imam Ali says, what are you all doing? He says, we heard that milk will help him. So we brought this milk over so that Mawla can become better for us. We miss him a lot. SubhanAllah. Imam Ali, this is it. At the last moments of his life, he was on his deathbed, and all the relatives were there, and he told all the relatives that, listen, go out of the room. Go out of the room. Only the children of Fatima stay with me. Only the children of Fatima stay with me. So only Bibi Zainab, Imam Hassan, Imam Hussein stayed there. And everyone left. And after everyone left, then he called Imam Hassan, and he gave the hand of Imam Hussein and Bibi Zainab in the hand of Imam Hassan. He said that Hassan will be your Imam from now. Be with him. They all started to cry. He told Bibi Zainab, listen, a test will come on you. Please be patient. He gave his advices to everyone. Kulsum, when she heard that Imam Ali removed, that Baneen, when she heard that Imam Ali removed all the kids, she came inside and said, Mawla, what about Abbas? What? Why don't you say something to Abbas? He looked at Abbas, who was a youngster at that time, and he said, Abbas, you are special for me. You are special for me, Abbas. He asked Abbas to come forward. Abbas came forward. He said, Abbas, give me your hand. He gave his hand. He took the hand of Hussein. Hussein, come here. Put it in the hand of Abbas. He put it in the hand of Abbas and said, Abbas, look after my Hussein. Look after my Hussein. My friends, you know, everyone at that last moment, Imam Ali, threw his head open, looked to the sky. Every Imam, it said that when they